Good afternoon, Fort McMurray. Happy New Year. I am your co-host of Let's Talk Lending, and I am with
Barb Pinsent of the Mortgage Center.
All right, Barb. We get together 8 times a year, and so the Bank of Canada has made an announcement today. Da-da-da-da-dum.
They have no change, and that was pretty much what was expected. They didn't
Yes.
change the overnight lending rate.
Yeah. Okay. My prediction is June. We're going to see 0.25% difference. What do you think? When do you think it's going to be? What's your prediction?
I think it depends on the numbers. So if
No, you got to give a forecast. Come on, make a guess.
I'm going to say no change.
No change this year?
No, June.
You think June? Okay, yeah.
No, I'm thinking they won't in June. I think they'll wait until they're going to watch things a little bit further.
Okay, when do you think? Give me a date. Come on, Barb.
The announcement following the one in June. So if that's
July, I think that's September. I think that's
is it September? Okay, that's when I think we might see.
All right,
a reduction.
And how much?
0.25%.
Okay, I'm June. Barb is September. All right, you heard it here, folks. Let's see who's right. I want to be right. You want Melanie to be right. Okay, Barb, so let's talk. I mean, really, why is it not changing? We can talk about that for a sec before you dive into your presentation. I think the biggest thing is that inflation is at 3.4%. And so it went up a smidge, but they really want it under 3%, and they want it there consistently for a while. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I think they're just going to keep an eye on things for now. Give the system some time to work through the higher interest rates, and then if they start seeing what it is that they want to see in terms of those numbers coming down, because definitely they didn't want to see an increase in inflation, and they did. So I think they're just going to watch things for a while, make sure. I don't see any increases in our future for sure. I see them riding things out a bit now because they've already done their thing with increases, and it has had an impact, obviously, right? So I think that's where we're at.
All right, Barb, you got a presentation for us today.
I do.
All right, it's up and ready to go for you.
Okay, terrific. So I did just want to talk about not needing 20% down if you're not a first-time home buyer. And that is a myth that you do need 20% down on a purchase if you currently own or had previously owned property. And the fact is you only need 5% down as long as you're going to occupy that property as your primary or a second home. And so this came to mind because I had a conversation recently with a client who called me to talk to me about that, because he had been told that because he owns property right now, he does need more than 5% down, that he would need 20% down. And I was happy to let him know that that's not the case. As long as he's going to be living in the property that he's looking to buy, he can get in with as little as 5% down. And not only that, but he can keep the house that he's living in right now and convert that to a rental property if that's something that he wanted to do. Great way to build your real estate portfolio. You can get in again, keep your money in the bank if you have 20% to put down and don't want to use all of that, or you don't have to wait as long to save for your down payment. And just some advice, and that is not to rely on information that you're getting from family or friends or coworkers. It's a rapid changing industry. I have a hard enough time keeping up with things. So if you've got questions, you're not sure about something, reach out. I don't know why this thing is skipping ahead of me, Melanie, but it is. So yeah, just reach out. And, I'm happy to answer any questions, and better to get it from someone like me who does nothing but mortgages for a living. Yeah. And, I spend a lot of time working on mortgages with mortgages. So reach out to someone who knows.
I think that's a really key statement, right? Like, so oftentimes I'm even dealing with people sometimes, whether they're buying or selling, they're getting advice, well-meaning advice, right? Well-meaning advice, but just get a second opinion. Yeah, the father-in-law might not always be right? Like, so said with love.
Exactly.
Okay, Barb, do you want to go to your next slide there?
Sure.
If you want to get a hold of us, this is one of the ways to do that. I am, yeah, just keep that there, Barb. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to flip up and just show what's going on with the real estate stats, just so people have an idea, because we have had a busy January, which is really surprising and wonderful to see. And so, it looks like right now, so what we're looking at is the stats for all of, oh no, hold on, let me go to all. Okay, so there's 250 single family listings in the entire city right now. We are right on par for where we were last year. 24 sold this month, and it's on the 24th of the month. We're going to beat this, which is great news. Now, the average price is a little bit lower. It's early in the year. Let's not get too hung up on that. I think as we get closer to the interest rates changing, I think that people are going to have more confidence in the market. That's what we're seeing. That's what I believe that we're seeing right now, is some confidence in the market. And if we look at this just real quick here, is, some stats from last year. Yes, the inventory was up. Yes, sales were down, and yes, the average price came down. But one of the major reasons for that is because the higher end stuff wasn't selling. The year before, we had an incredibly strong spring. April was the best month of sales since 2014. I think as we move further into this year, I think we're going to see some confidence. I think we're going to people are going to get used to. I think they're just getting used to this is the new normal. These prices are the new normal. Would you agree, Barb?
Yeah, absolutely. And two, I think we're coming to grips with where rates are. I mean, they could go a little lower, certainly, but we are getting used to the idea, and they have, we hope, stopped going up. Like, we might see some changes in the fixed rates, just because those are set by different measures, right? It's bond yields, and the bond market had been experiencing a little bit of this of late. So maybe with today's announcement, that'll, calm things down again, and we'll see,
right,
no increases at very minimum, and maybe even see some decreases.
Here's what I think. I think that we should talk more next episode about, would it be smart to take a variable rate this year? I think we should talk about that, and what's the pros and cons of that, because, and what, maybe you could do some breakdowns of some costs and stuff like that. I think that would be a great thing to talk about, because, maybe it is a good time to buy. I do think that we're going to have a busy spring. If this, that's what I'm seeing right now. I'm getting like showings on listings that I haven't had showings on for a while. And it's like, come on, baby, let's get those babies sold. All right. If you want to get a hold of Barb and or myself, letstalklending.com, fill in the form, fill in all your information. Barb, you also deal with renewals. That is something that you also take care of. And I want to make sure that we reiterate that point as well.
Yeah, I do. And one thing to say about that is, don't just accept what your lender's offering to you. Do your homework, right? Check around. Doesn't mean that you got to leave your lender, but you want to make sure that you are getting the best rate that you possibly can. So just,
absolutely,
second opinion. Always good to get a second opinion.
Absolutely. All right, Barb. When's the next date?
March 6th.
March 6th. Okay. So what's interesting is that they won't have the inflation rates for 2 months. They'll just have it for 1 month, because they give out the inflation rates like 3 times. It doesn't make sense to me why they do that. Any ideas?
I think because there's such a lag in when they get that information and different numbers they've got to wait on. I think. I don't know if that's why, but that's my thought.
All right. March it is. Okay. You know how to get a hold of us. Do us a favor, tag a friend, share this video. Let's get the proper information out so people are making the right decisions for them and maybe not missing out on an opportunity. All right, Barb, thanks so much, and Happy New Year, everyone.
Bye.